Secretary of Foreign Affairs already made a tweet on that. He said he will take legal action. He had already filed a note verbal or a diplomatic protest.
Is it something, sir, that the president can bring up when he, if in case matuloy or dumating sila sa bilateral talks sa China?
Again, that's always the president's call.
Thank you, sir.
Follow up. Nestor?
Sir, in an interview this morning, Foreign Affairs Secretary Locsin said that the Philippines has filed several note verbals against China in the West Philippine Sea.
A salvo, as
Yes.
he describes it.
Yes, sir, and he also mentioned that China has not responded to any of our protests. He suggested that the Philippines could turn to our only military ally, the United States. So what does the Philippine government wants now from the United States, since the President has mentioned in his previous speeches that the United States has been there in the South China Sea but has done nothing to stop Chinese aggression in the disputed sea? What do you want? Do we have any? What does the Philippine government want from the United States, since we also have the Mutual Defense Treaty, sir?
Well, we will wait for the president's decision on that. We'll wait for him.
May follow up. Joseph or Joyce?
Sir, but are we hoping that eventually the Chinese vessels would stop from what they're doing, yung harvesting mass giant clams in Scarborough Shoal? At the end of the diplomatic protest, yun yung inaasahan natin, sir.
So what your question is, what will we do?
What are we hoping dun sa final natin na note verbal?
Well, we'll wait for their official response and then act on it,
But in
one way or the other.
But in essence, sir, the Philippine government is sending a message sa China to stop whatever they're doing sa
Well, the
Scarborough
fact
Shoal.
that we have already issued a diplomatic protest or not verbal is already a statement of the position of this government.
Okay, Ina. Microphone, please.
In relation to Nestor's question, sir, but what would prompt us to actually tap our only military ally, as the Secretary said?
As I said, we will wait for the president's decision on that. It has to be studied.
Sir, is China's continued presence in Pag-asa Shoal, could that prolonged presence rather in Pag-asa, near Pag-asa Island rather, prompt us to seek U.S. assistance?
We'll wait for the president's decision on that. These are very serious matters and requires serious study.
Sir, how does the palace feel with China not responding to the salvo of notes verbal
We're still waiting.
protests?
I'm sure they will respond in time.
Sir, never nga daw po sa
Wala
dami
pa
sabi.
Baka next week pagdating namin doon, meron na. Diba?
So you're hoping that China will still?
Yeah, they should.
Okay. Are you willing to yesterday kasi sir, sinasabi niyo welcome yung bilateral negotiations in settling
Yes.
territorial disputes. Are you always going to be okay with settling with that negotiations? Because it seems that's always their response, sir.
Kasi wala namang iba sa ngayon na po pwede. In the meanwhile, negotiations tayo.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. MPC questions, other issue. Joseph? Okay.
Sir, si Secretary Locsin said that he wants the Chinese vessels out. That sounds like a policy, right?
Yeah. I also said that they must move away.
Correct. And do you think the president will probably heed that recommendation?
Well, the president said, don't touch our people there. Ano po ba yun? Ganun din yun.
Your reaction first, sir, dun sa pag-harvest ng mga taklobo. First off, that's within our EEZ. It's like your neighbor going in and getting your plants, right?
That's why I share the sentiment of Secretary Locsin when he filed a diplomatic protest and said he will institute legal action.
How would you describe that action, sir?
Legal action? I don't know.
No, the Chinese action of harvesting giant clams in our
Well, as I
territory.
said, if you recall yesterday, I said China, as far as it is concerned, it owns the vast South China Sea. Hence, logically, it will be performing acts of ownership or sovereignty over those areas. In other words, they're just being consistent with themselves. Eh, tayo rin, we have to be consistent with ours. Since as far as we are concerned, that is ours. So we will be objecting to any intrusion into our own territory.
Again, go to my question, sir. How would you describe that Chinese action of harvesting giant clams that is in our area?
Yun ang sagot ko doon eh. They are, as far as they're concerned, sa kanila yon. So, they are performing acts of ownership. Eh sa atin, hindi. Sa amin yan eh. Oh,
Is this a violation of our sovereign
syempre,
rights?
it's natural because if it's our territory, therefore it is an affront to our territory and to ourselves.